Hello again, and welcome back to the IDG Corporate Update. Returning to our show today is Paige Tucker, CEO and President of ProStar. Paige, it's great to have you back on the program.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
So first of all, let's talk about your financing, which you just completed over the summer, which is remarkable given it's very hard to get anything done over this summer, particularly this year. So congratulations. Why don't we begin with a quick overview of ProStar and any of your biggest developments since we last spoke in April?
Sure. So I think as everybody knows, ProStar, we develop a cloud and mobile application called PointMan that is specifically designed to capture, record, and display the precise location of critical infrastructure, both above and below ground, which includes utilities and pipelines. As far as some recent events that have occurred, basically what we've done is we're starting to transition what I consider R&D, where you spend years developing your product and perfecting it and working with trusted testers, which are clients that actually take it out into real world application, and then they provide very valuable feedback on features and functionalities that you need to add into the system in order to address their specific workflows and business practices. We have all that behind us now. And we went from having about a half a dozen customers that we considered trusted testers to get to the point where the product is mature and robust. Now we're getting up to, I think we're just shy of 50 customers, and our goal is to get to 100 customers by the end of the year. So we're shifting away from development and becoming more of what we consider to be a sales-centric organization, where we're focused 100% on sales and adding what we can call more logos, which is just onboarding more clients.
More logos. You already have a great deal of logos, and that is an exciting transition. Your solution's already been mandated by several states, adopted by many large brand names in the industry, and you recently announced that Leica Geosystems will be integrated with PointMan. Can you tell us about this new partnership and how this maybe works with your business model?
Sure. So, important point is that we are strictly a software company. We develop software. But there's a lot of equipment that is required in order to determine where utilities and pipelines are located below the ground, or if you're collecting surface features. So it's important that we establish a really close working relationship with those equipment manufacturers for two reasons. Number one, they're already well embedded into the business practices of these large companies, municipalities, pipeline companies, engineering surveying firms, construction companies, and you don't want them to have to reinvest in those legacy systems. So ideally, you create a business partnership where your system integrates seamlessly into the equipment and then adds value to the services that they provide, because then they become a distribution network for you. So today, by adding Leica, I can literally say that we work with almost every major equipment manufacturer around the world that provides either the GPS equipment, GPR equipment, which is ground penetrating radar, or what's called electromagnetic utility and pipeline locating devices. So again, it's very exciting that we've gotten to the point where we've established those relationships. It also gives us an incredible amount of visibility into the market and credibility because we have such a close working relationship.
Before we wrap up, can you give us maybe a preview of what's on the horizon over the next 6 to 12 months? Are there any specific milestones or catalysts that viewers should be looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. For example, we're just onboarding more clients. So, there's nothing more exciting than to see your product have wider adoption, not only in the United States and Canada, but also abroad. We're working with a couple of equipment manufacturers that I can't specifically disclose, but they're looking to actually adopt PointMan as their primary software so that every piece of equipment that is sold worldwide will be sold with PointMan. So that's pretty exciting because we've never had that type of working relationship before. And I think that once one does it, if it gives them a competitive advantage over the competitors, then we'll see the other equipment manufacturers that will also want a similar relationship. We're also starting to add more salespeople. Obviously, if we want to sell more product and there's more demand in the market, then we have to have the support network for that, specifically in our sales department. So we're expanding our sales department, and we're also allocating, more resources to our sales and marketing efforts. So what I'm excited about is, again, we can focus on sales and adding more logos, and that should be reflected, obviously, in our financials. We should be increasing our revenue. Our burn should start to go down, and that should be, exciting for investors to see. We should be pushing out a lot more press releases that are related to new business partnerships, adding more clients. And as I mentioned before, not only, in the United States and Canada, but we're working several deals that are abroad as well. So we're just starting to see wider adoption, into the marketplace. And I think it's an exciting time for us, because I think finally there's a shift in the market. This industry, the construction industry, the utility industry, the pipeline industry, even municipalities, government agencies, have been so well entrenched in their current business practices for well over 20 years. And you could design the best solution, in the world. But the hard part is getting industry to change from the way that they've always done it into utilizing, new methods, including the software that we design. But we're starting to see that shift in the market. It starts with early adopters that have big names. Then you get the equipment manufacturers to start to adopt your software. As you mentioned earlier, we have new guidelines and standards, including the American Society for Civil Engineers that have not changed their guidelines and standards in over 20 years. They just recently changed them, and it's based on our software. We're seeing more adoption through government agencies. And at some point, and I think it's coming, we're going to hit that tipping point where all of a sudden we see a broader adoption, becomes much more easier to sell our solution, and it might become the de facto standard, in the marketplace, because we are first to market. We're known as the world leader. We have a very extensive IP portfolio, including several, issued patents that prove that point. So I think it's a very exciting time for us. And again, what I'm excited is that should be reflected in our financials over the next couple quarters, and also in the press releases that we're pushing out. So yeah, I'm excited about the position that we're in. Obviously, it's been a lot of work, a lot of money invested, but a lot of companies don't get to the point where we are, where we can just focus on sales now.
Thank you so much for this update today, Paige. We look forward to continuing to follow the story, and obviously look forward to the press releases over the coming weeks and months.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks again. Bye for now.